Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now we're going to be doing a bit of a follow-up on the David Tennant telling a black woman to shut up because she wanted to protect women's rights, and David Tennant wishing that this black woman didn't exist. So you wonder how it would have been if it was someone on the right telling a black woman to shut up about women's rights. The left would have been all over it. But apparently it's okay because he's a lovey. Well, it's also okay as far as Kate Forbes is concerned. She's come out and says, well, I'm not taking sides, which is Kate Forbes and the SNP's way of saying, I'm so scared because if I take sides one way, the others will hate me. If I take it the other way, they'll hate me. I don't know what to do, so I'm just not going to take sides because I'm a moral and vacuous coward. So she basically, Kate Forbes, saying she doesn't give a shit about women's rights and that she thinks that it's okay for men to pretend to be women. That's a bit odd, given that she always claims to be Christian, and it's totally against the teachings of the Bible. For the, it's how can she maintain her Christian belief and remain on the fence with this? I think she probably wants to speak out against it, but of course has no spine, because the SNP's position is that strange men who get erections when putting on ladies' underwear are perfectly acceptable and should be treated as women, should be allowed to go and expose themselves to children in changing rooms. Kate Forbes is all for it, apparently, because she won't come out and say that David Tennant is wrong. And, of course, she's quite happy that it's okay for white, middle-class, middle-aged men, privileged, are okay in telling black women to shut up and go away. Excellent. Excellent. I just laugh at this because if it was the right doing it, the SNP would be all over this like a bad rash, wouldn't they? But let's have a look at Kate and her weird ways. Here goes. So Kate Forbes refuses to take sides in the David Tennant Kemi Badenoch row, but says women shouldn't be told to shut up. But hang on a minute, if you're not taking sides, then you're saying it's acceptable for what David Tennant did. If you don't want women to be told to shut up, then you've got to be on Kemi's side. But then you can't be on Kemi's side. A, she's a Tory, and B, she's a woman. Oh, I don't want to protect women's rights because my party's official stance is screw you women. Weird, isn't it? It's weird how a woman like Kate Forbes is perfectly acceptable and happy to find a man telling a woman to shut up because that woman thinks that women's rights are important and that the safety of women and children are unimportant. It's weird, isn't it? So we have to ask Kate, the only reason you're taking sides, is it because you're a coward? I think the answer is yes. She is unfit for public service. If she cannot take a side on such a fundamental issue as the safety of women, then how can she possibly represent the 50% of Scotland that are women? She needs to resign with immediate effect. She's effectively saying to the 51% actually of Scotland, the Scottish population, 51%, you don't count. You are unimportant. Your safety is of no concern because a white, privileged, middle-aged, middle-class man has spoken and we must all agree with what he says. The Doctor Who star caused outrage when he said he didn't want the Equalities Minister to exist anymore. Doesn't want this black woman to exist. And told her to shut up because her views were different from his. And this is while he was accepting an award for supporting the LGBT community. Actually, what's happening now, surprisingly not, is that the LGB part of that LGBT community are starting to distance themselves from the T. The normal lesbian, gay and bi people are seeing the T as a bit toxic. The T stands for toxic in that acronym. Anyway, Kate Forbes said she didn't want to take sides in the brewing row over comments made by Scots actor David Tennant about Kemi Badenoch. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Doesn't want to take sides. Perhaps you should. But the SNP minister did admit she does not like women being told to shut up when quizzed about her views on the issue. Doesn't like it, but isn't going to do anything about it. Oh no, I don't like it, but I'm not going to say that it was wrong. No, David, it's okay. You can tell a woman to shut up because she says something you don't like. Well, that's fine, Kate. Tell you what, let's do it this way. Kate Forbes, shut up. Just shut up, Kate. Your views are unimportant, Kate Forbes, because after all, you're only a woman. And as the man, as a white, middle-aged, middle-class man, my views are more important than Kate Forbes. So right now, Kate Forbes needs to learn to shut up. There we go. And that's perfectly acceptable. After all, Kate says it's acceptable. Kate says that's fine. So Kate, take a bit of your own advice and please shut up and stop talking, you stupid woman. There we go. Problem solved. It followed Miss Badenoch, the UK Government's Equalities Minister, vowing to clarify the Equality Act. She's also made other remarks that have offended the transgender lobby. It's not hard to offend them. They're constantly on the lookout for offences. You know, oh look, the sky's grey. That's offensive to the transgender community. It's raining. That makes our makeup run. That's offensive to the transgender community. Oh no, reality. That's offensive to the transgender community. And now pricks, absolute soy, cuck, timid little pricks like David Tennant and coming out and saying, no, actually, I want men to go in and expose themselves to children. He needs to be investigated deeply. I think every electronic device he owns needs to be looked at deeply, if that's his belief. He thinks men exposing themselves to children is perfectly acceptable. He thinks women not having a safe space, especially vulnerable women who have been attacked or the victims of DV, shouldn't be protected, should be thrust into places where men can access them. He thinks that women who are still vulnerable and are in prison should be exposed to having a man locked in a cell with them overnight. That's David Tennant. I'm sorry, David Tennant, but you are a complete and utter fucking wanker. And there is no other way about it. Now, you go and look at your wife, Georgia, right? Georgia Moffat, and you say to her, Georgia, darling, I know we've got children, but it's okay. I want grown men to expose themselves in changing rooms. I want you to go into a changing room, trying on a dress, and have a grown man standing there naked next to you. Is that okay, Georgia? It'd be like that because he hasn't got the balls to say what he actually thinks. Because he's like, oh, I'm in the industry, I'm in showbiz, I've got to pander. Otherwise I'm unemployed. Well, you have got no spine, and we've covered that before. But Badenoch is right. Kemi Badenoch is bang on right. And the very fact that Kate Forbes is coming out and supporting that non-entity, that spineless coward who wants children attacked and wants children to be sexually abused. He wants it. He's standing up for those who do it. And we know that trans community 12 times more likely to be sex offenders. Government's own figures, not my view, the government's own figures. If you're trans, you're 12 times more likely to be a sex offender, and he's supporting them. What a prick. And her, another one. I'm happy to support sex offenders because I am not allowed to express my pure views because look, I'm in the SNP. Thumbs up. Look, little thumbs up. Look, let's make, yeah, I got an arsehole on the end of that thumb and an arsehole on the end of that thumb. I'm doing that to all the bosses. Here's the thing, why are you not leader? It's because you're a woman, Kate, and you've got men telling you what to do. So I hope you're very obedient, because apparently that's okay for you. Coming up. Very odd, I think, that Kate Forbes should go into politics, even though her views are that women should be subservient to men, and that they should shut up when men make the case. Women shouldn't answer the case. Women shouldn't be protected, she's saying. Women have got no rights. Women have got no freedoms. Women have got no expectation of safety. That is what Kate Forbes is backing here. I am not taking sides. I don't want to stand up for women's rights. Fuck you, Kate Forbes. I'm sure my wife, my mother, my sisters, my nieces, all of them are thinking that you are just a worthless, rolled up, dried up husk of a human turd, crumbling and blowing away in the wind, never to be seen again. Thank God the SNP's finished. If you're an SNP voter and you happen to be a woman, think on. Think on. Do you want the likes of Kate Forbes telling you to just shut up because the man is speaking? Vote elsewhere if you are. Thanks a lot. Bye.